This would be it, guys. The building, City Hall. City Hall of Torontopia. Torontopia. Look, it's actually forwards right now. In real life, it's backwards, like my brain, some say. Good old Torontopia. So now this goddamn building, back in the day, like the 60s, right, that day, this fucking thing was like a marvel of world architecture. This fucking thing is like 60, 70 years old now. It's like that piece of shit over there, that metal piece of shit. I could have shot this fucking thing out of my ass this morning. Yo, are you gonna change that artwork, bro? Yo, Torontopia, we need some more art. We need a better building. So now this fucking thing right here. The reason I pulled this out is because it's a beautiful day. Yo, I freed up some space on my goddamn Chromebook, guys. And it's like, you, the urge to make a movie doth strike. So they changed the sign. Can you believe I feel, dear user, doo, doo. By the way, like I'm trying to get used to like these intros. So you start with a greeting. You're like, hi there, Zaidi boy, aka a rational Muslim, right? This kind of bullshit. Then you ramble. Like this is what I learned from Alex Becker. Just go look him up. Alex Becker, just like it sounds. Okay, so if you want to know about YouTube and this fucking guy, like 20,000 hits an hour, this kind of bullshit. 10,000 fucking clicks in a fucking hour. Yo, and this is something he just farts like into the fucking mic, more or less. He's the guy who says, yo, if you want to be a YouTuber, and he's not. He gets like hundreds of thousands of views on some of his stuff, but he's like, if you want to be a YouTuber, you need to run for a star. You need to shoot. What does he say? Shoot goddamn quarters out of your ass. This is what he says. So now, this was really the main attraction. I don't want to leave my stuff here because there's all kinds of shady characters coming through here. How you doing, sir? Sorry for filming you. Okay, so now, yeah, farmers market. So Torontopia. This is Torontopia. If you're watching this channel, the reason I'm making all these movies about films or clips or what have you about Torontopia is because first of all, it rocks. Second of all, everyone's wearing these goddamn hats that say New York. I tell these fucking people, I'm like, yo, have you ever talked to one of these fags in their cars? They got their yellow New York plate. And you'll be like, hey, welcome to Torontopia. Motherfucker will be like, get the fuck out of here before I run your fucking ass over. More or less. More or less. Okay, now you might be like, yo, you're reading too much into an eyeball, right? And of course you'd be right. So this is the center of the center, okay? Bay Street, Torontopia, City Hall. Come and visit. Don't be an idiot. Yeah, the reason I'm doing this, I keep trying to say this, and I'm going to say it right now. Some asshole came to my original Zaidi Boy channel, Zaidiboy. Z-A, as in A to Z backwards. ID is what I take to the bar. It doesn't make any sense. No one gets the goddamn name. Be careful of the pigeons, young one, lest they bite in the night and leave you in a state of fright. All right, this is silly. I'm gonna get like tagged for harassing the goddamn turistos. I pretend I'm like something I'm not. You got to do this. I might as well segue into that. So yeah, some guy comes to my Zaidi Boy channel. If you go there, I've got plenty of videos on atheism, right? Like, and lots of clicks and lots of comments. Zaidiboy. Okay, you Google it, you'll see my LinkedIn, you'll see my Twitter, you'll see my Facebook, you'll see my YouTube. This channel right here is because Google locked me out of that goddamn stuff. Okay, so you go there if you're interested in atheism and all kinds of stuff. Like, that's my real channel. Like, I can't like monetize it or get any money out of that thing because I don't see the comments or nothing because like Google locked me out of this thing. Now, on the one hand, guys, it's like you want to fire your boss, right? So now the problem is you get locked into selling Facebook ads and then Facebook dethrones you, right? They'll just like shut your account down. Okay, then you're like doing like Google SEO. Then they changed. So like you understand very quickly where I'm going with this, dear user. So basically, freedom is not free, and there may not be no such thing. Gary Vaynerchuk says that you got to work your fucking face off, more or less, from your 20s to your 30s. Now, buddy, like, yo, buddy works his face off, period. Right? He's like Mark Zuckerberg, and Elon Musk and people like this. 16, 18-hour days. This is like the norm for these fucking people. Every waking moment, they're obsessing over their stuff, right? So Gary Vee will be like, "Hey, I don't have any attachments to my accolades, okay?" And he feeds himself humble pie. So he'll have this burst of like, bang, and people will be like, "Wow," and then he'll be like, "Mr. Gandhi," right? Really, like this is how it's done. So go look up Alex Becker. He'll teach you about YouTubing. Just watch his goddamn stuff because this is what I do. I hero worship this man. I tag him on Twitter. I'll leave him comments. He ignores me, of course, right? But of course, he sees my shit, right? And there's this kind of thing going on. I believe. I don't know. Like another guy you might want to look up is Ty Lopez. Ty, Tai, Tango Alpha India, right? So this man is, he owns Pier One right now. He owns Dress Barn, Models. Like these are huge e-commerce brands. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. So I remember seeing some kind of picture. This building was like some historic piece of work back in the day, like the 60s, right? And it's like like a helicopter shot from the top, and it's got like the construction workers are up there, and they're talking about how this goddamn thing is a marvel of the world, Torontopia, right? So now, guys, you're trying to fire your boss, all this kind of bullshit. I'm going around in circles. If you're interested in anything I'm talking about, just shoot me a comment, right? I'm not interested in subscriptions or you subscribing. I'm interested in a response, right? So if you're watching this, so again, you start with your intro, okay? Learned from Alex Becker. You ramble for a bit, and then you collect your thoughts, and that is called your intro. So you start with your greeting. You say, "Hey, this is Zaidi Boy," okay, aka a rational Muslim. Like, I don't know if you want to give your name or not. Like, what you're gonna learn, dear would-be aspiring YouTuber, is that basically you need to create some kind of thing called like I'm showing this off because this guy is running for mayor, right? I wanted to talk about this guy, right? It's going to be this guy against our long-standing and beloved, much beloved Mayor John Tory. This motherfucker is like ghetto blaster part three. Like he's one of my guys, like from Moss Park or something. I don't know the man, like, but he basically like the real deal in terms of Gangster X becomes like he's redeemed. Like he's got this book. So this is Reginald Tull, Tull, Tango Umbrella Lima Lima. Okay, he's running for mayor. Okay, so it's I suppose appropriate that we're standing outside his city hall. He's running for mayor of Toronto, right? Now, John Tory. I remember when I first moved to Toronto back in 2010. I was working for Oracle. Okay, Oracle Corporation, Oracle Canada. It's up in Mississauga, right? So this is downtown. Okay, so you've got like various suburbs in the GTA, Greater Toronto uh, area, right? So Mississauga is one of these suburbs. Now, I used to listen. I remember like going to the interview, even like because I was staying with a buddy who was in Toronto. Robbie, if you're watching, hello, and thank you again for everything. Uh, so I'd have to like drive like 30, 40 clicks to get from Pickering to Mississauga, and I was listening to News Talk 1010, and there's this very interesting guy on there called John Tory. That guy is now the mayor of Toronto, right? And this guy actually worked with some of the old time conservative leadership of like this country. Like John Tory was like the kind of like the water boy for some of these famous players. Like one of these guys, I forget his name. He was like mainstay of Canadian politics. So John Tory, of course, is a conservative Tory. Like, what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? It's like Larry Page at Google, page ranking, right? And then you got this goddamn guy. Anyway, so they're doing a lot here for as you can see, like they've got like sound technicians, all kinds of stuff. There may be a show later or like later in the day, later in the week. The one bad thing I'm going to warn you of, dear tourist or visitor or someone who may or may not come here to Nathan Phillip Square, it's yucky, like the floor, right? And unfortunately, like on the outlying benches, you might see people sleeping or passed out and this kind of stuff. if you go into the bathrooms, then it's like buyer beware. Like they have security, they have cleaners, all this kind of stuff. I'm just saying it's kid friendly. There's markets and all this good stuff. I'm gonna be voting for John Tory. Okay, I might as well just fucking say this. I'm gonna vote for this fucking guy. I'm not into like this whole yo, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. BLM, brown fucking lives matter. Alright? Brown lives matter. Right? So Reginald Tull, I respect this guy. Okay, he was an ex like street thug kind of thing, kind of guy. Like he had this like he's the real deal, right? He's written a book about it's called Memoirs of a Bad Boy, right? So now this book he talks about like his past, and he was basically a fucking thug, a street fucking hoodlum. Now the he's reformed though, he's redeemed. Now that has nothing to do with why I'm not gonna vote for him because he's black. Basically, I'll just tell you this, dear viewer, or anyone who's watching this. My intention is to upload this onto YouTube, of course, and then tag people, right? I'm interested, frankly, in helping fucking Tory with his goddamn. My shoe sister, salamun alaikum. Helping John Tory with his. John Tory is gonna have a match with this guy. This guy, like this flyer, it keeps coming my way. Like I was riding the subway down here, okay, and some lady hands it out. Now, just listen to this, and it's gonna put. If you're a John Tory supporter, you're gonna. This is gonna put the fear of God in you, like the way these guys have nailed it. Like, listen to this guy. It's the first time voters who can shift the power in Toronto and make a difference. Here's how. Then he's got like 12 bullet points, and they like kick fucking ass. First time voters vote for someone new. First time voters vote for different ideas. First time voters vote for real change. They vote from the heart. They're not interested in political jargon and all this kind of bullshit. So I'm really interested in getting in touch with Mr. Mayor John Tory and saying, hey man, do you have a successor? At one point, this guy was going to there's this evil. I'm sorry, my wife's Latina. Don't hold it against me, okay? That I feel badly about this lady. She's a doctor. I think she's Latina. She's a big deal here in Toronto. I'd never heard of this lady, Dr. Eileen Quinn or some bullshit. I forget. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm slagging her. I'm glad I don't know her name. Yo, she was basically riding the crest of this fucking thing, like this pandemic scare, and now she's a doctor. And so these guys are the new demigods and demagogues and all this kind of bullshit. Now, Tory was gonna hand the goddamn mayorship over to this fucking lady, and people don't even talk about this thing. Yo, this guy was just going out the back door, right? Retirement. So now, if that's your plan, Mr. Tory, then do you have a goddamn successor, right? And if you don't have a successor, you need a cogent goddamn platform or some kind of messaging, because this fucking guy is going to eat your face. Reginald Tull, I'm sorry, he's a fucking gangster. And now he helps kids off the street, and he's taking ghetto kids from Toronto all over the world, and they're digging wells and taking medicinal supplies out to villages in Africa and this kind of bullshit. Anyway, come visit Torontopia. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think, and be nice to your mom and all this kind of bullshit. Be nice to people, and yo, what is this goddamn thing? Call your goddamn mom. I'm looking for the stop button right now, dear user. So go see some Alex Becker videos. Go watch some Gary Vaynerchuk, and go watch some goddamn Tai Lopez. Yeah, exactly how it sounds. TAI, guys. See you later.